15 love.
Are you aware Novak has served first in each of his last 9 finals? Not the first one he played back in 2008 against Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. In his last 9 finals, he has served first, and usually he's got off to a flyer.
I was not aware. But the serve was one of the aspects against Sinner that certainly kept him in it and kept Sinner at bay on the breakpoint opportunities that the Italian carved out but couldn't take. Pity he obviously didn't hit yesterday. Wanted to obviously rest the legs. It was, if you were watching earlier, a pretty intense practice that Novak put in prior to this match.
I saw him hit for about 15 minutes. Yes, warming up. He was letting it fly, letting it rip, hitting hard and flat into the corners. It looked like that was what he wanted to incorporate into this match tonight, just as he did against Jannik Sinner in the semi.
That's the type of point that Alcaraz wants to play.
40-15.
Forcing Djokovic to have to stretch out wide to that forehand side.
Cain, Djokovic. Coach Cain.
A really solid looking start from Djokovic.
But we all saw what sort of form we thought he was in the quarterfinals. And to me, he wasn't the Novak that we remember. He was missing balls a metre wide instead of a metre inside the line, a metre long instead of a metre short of the baseline. And I thought at 2 sets to love down, I thought he was gone. He gets a bit of luck, and maybe at this age that's what he needs. That's what he's had, a bit of luck. Then he turned it on in the semis. He really did. He went from 0 to hero, from the quarters to the semis, and it looks like the look in his eye, you wouldn't put it past him to do it again.
Fitzy, I had this weird theory that it was no good for Novak to be seeded 4. I thought it would almost be better that he would be outside the top so that he might run into a Sinner in like a 3rd or a 4th round when he wasn't exhausted. And that's sort of how it's played out with those defaults. He's played Sinner much fresher than he would have normally.
15 love.
Yep, 4 hours less on court to get through to this stage. But of course, we do know that Alcaraz doesn't mind a few hours on court. His win at the US Open, his first ever major triumph, saw him play 3 back-to-back 5-setters and over 2 hours and 49 minutes on court.
Well, you'd think Novak has to use that backhand down the line a lot tonight. I mean, you can't just go back across court, can you? Maybe he can, but most players can't against Carlos. Needs to try and open the court up a bit. He used it well against Jannik. Gee, Alcaraz
40
looks relaxed as well, doesn't he? Very.
Well, this is the end where you're going to get a little help from the breeze. Pretty much coming straight from Alcaraz, from behind Alcaraz at this point. Not that strong, but helpful.
The shot that really demolished the chances for Sinner. 4 out of the 5 sets that Djokovic played against Sinner, he had the bigger of the 2 forehands.
It's a phenomenon to me, this forehand. How flat that trajectory is and how accurate with depth he produces it. Look, that doesn't clear the net by a lot, but certainly enough.
Alcaraz. One game.
Let's just set the table a little bit in terms of what you're seeing on your screens in terms of pace. This will probably surprise a few people given the age gap between these two, but it is Djokovic that has the bigger of the 2 forehands out there. The backhands very similar. Ken Rosewall there on the righty pitcher. Rafa's dad also in town. Rafa sitting next to his agent, Carlos Costa.
Oh. Fifteen.
Rafa, of course, alongside Novak, one of the 8 men that have managed to complete the career Grand Slam. Others being Agassi, Budge, Emerson, Laver, and Perry. Some list for Alcaraz to try and join
Tonight. So history is going to be made. I'm excited.
Might be the last time, of course, that Novak can wear those shoes.
Only 4 of those have won on all different surfaces. The first 4 won on grass and clay.
Yep. That is clean. Yeah. Both of them are settled into this match, this final, spectacularly well. Dalibor Sirola, his physical trainer, started in June last year, doing a very good job. Novak holding up well in the early exchanges, 2-1. Okay, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into what's happening between these two. Last year at the Australian Open, Novak absolutely took Alcaraz's second serve apart. Just 33% of those second serve points won for Alcaraz last year. Very predictable. Kicking it into the backhand of Djokovic did not work well at all for him on that particular occasion. You've already seen a second serve into the forehand side of Novak tonight. And as you can see, as he's gone through his run here, a lot more second serves are being produced into the forehand side of his opponents. Expect to see a similar pattern tonight for the man from Murcia.
Time.
That's the forehand. That's the shot that can win it for him, in my eyes. What about you, Wally?
Well, that's the trajectory that he enjoyed against Jannik Sinner. Just pumping balls hard into his strike zone. Didn't bother him at all. There was one slight mishit there, but there it is. Slight mishit there, but I don't know. Standing toe-to-toe with Novak, it was actually Musetti and the spin and the variety that was unsettling for Novak, not the power of Sinner or Alcaraz in that last point. And that's a shot that will work very, very well from that end. And he's a master of it.
15-all.
Yeah, he loves to use a high frequency of drop shots. It's so destructive, as you can see here. 3.7 per set that he uses. That's up over 3 times as many as Djokovic will use it, and an 80% roughly success rate.
I like that angle. From the perspective of Alcaraz, to get Djokovic wide like that with short, angled, heavy topspin, that's got to be an asset.
The shield.
Is he going to get off to that flyer?
He's got the chance.
How well does he produce that? I mean, the practice makes perfect, doesn't it? What a beautifully executed drop shot.
There's no question that practice makes perfect, because, and credit to his dad, because he was the one that taught him the strokes, he taught him the technique, but he also taught him the latitude to go out there as a youngster and play this style of tennis.
Well, it was actually Novak that went with the slice. I thought that's something Alcaraz might have used from this end, just to keep the ball low, make Novak play a little safer. There it is again, ball waist height. Novak is thriving on it. It's thriving on the height of the bounce and the pace that Alcaraz is giving him.
Forehand that is produced beautifully. It exports misery. And once again, Alcaraz early on in this final is at breaking point. How good is this final already in terms of the quality? Everyone was a little concerned about the cool, blustery conditions and how it would affect the two players and the kind of level of tennis. It's not had a negative effect at all.
No, they've found their range instantly, haven't they? They're not trying to overplay either, which is interesting, but still hitting enough winners, painting the lines already.
He is so locked in on return.
Yeah, and the forehand is the one that's doing most of the damage, isn't it? It looks threatening, that wing.
Bounced back well from 5-setters in the past here in the semi-final at the Australian Open. 2012, of course, against Murray, went 4 hours and 50 minutes, went past the 5-hour mark and getting past Nadal in the final, won that. Lavona for Novak at the start of this final. The Serbian sensation.
The drop shots were stunning from Carlos, but I feel not quite the variety in terms of what he's delivering to Novak. Beautifully struck backhands and forehands, but we saw that from Sinner a couple of nights ago. It's not bothering him.
Interested to see whether Novak's serving patterns continue or whether he's kind of just lulling Alcaraz in at the start of this match and he's going to flip it around. But the serve out wide on the outside has been devastating so far on this deuce side. Missed his target with that one.
Love 15.
Another semi he had here at the Australian Open that went 5 sets was against Wawrinka in 2015. Got the better of Murray in the final after that.
What was his best shot in the semi-final against Sinner? Was it his forehand or was it his serve?
I thought his forehand probably visually was more destructive, but arguably his serve was equally impressive.
On the big points, it was incredible. Faced 18 break points in that semi-final, saved 16 of them, made 13 first serves.
Cain, Djokovic.
I'd call this a flyer.
And I would also call it a statement made opening
Djokovic
5
leads
games.
4 games to
Djokovic
1.
takes 4 of them. Let's have a little look at the 40 on both of these two serves. I mean, you can't get a better extension than that, can you, Fitzy?
Well, I don't think so. They've both worked on their serves over the journey, haven't they? Carlos in more recent days. Novak, many years ago, when he was having issues with the serve, he's developed it into one of the greats. And in the semi-final, it was devastating. Time and time again, particularly on the second court down the middle, he burnt Jannik Sinner over and over.
Time.
A flawless 21 minutes for the 10-time champion out here. Djokovic not showing any ill effects after the epic semi-final against Jannik Sinner. And the match right now is on his racket. Mark Webber, former F1 driver, of course, so the manager.
Love 15.
To Oscar Piastri. I think he would have probably appreciated the acceleration on Djokovic's forehand in this opening 5 games.
Very good. He certainly had some of that, did Mark Webber.
Spent a bit of time actually in Woking in the UK at the McLaren headquarters in recent times, Novak, in the last sort of 6 months.
Love 13.
He's played a bit of tennis with Zach Brown and Andrea Stella, who's the team principal. That forehand cross-court was equally as deadly as the point finisher down the line. And interestingly enough, Novak's gone down the line 55% with that forehand throughout the course of this tournament. He's gone down the line more often than cross-court.
Well, that's the second one I can remember him missing so far, but it's dialed in, this forehand.
30.
Can't make every single one. He overplays this one. But it looks just as dangerous, equally so, than it did 2 nights ago.
Please.
He needs this game, does the young fella.
30.
You don't want a totally one-sided first set. He needs to make a stand here, Carlos, from love 30. So that keeps him within reach and gives him a chance to get back on an even keel here.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 2.
Alcaraz also bidding to become the youngest player in the opener to win 7 Grand Slam titles. He'll be ahead of Borg, who managed that at 23 years old and 4 days. Carlos, of course, today would be 22 years old and 272 days. Rafa won his 7th when he was 24 years old and 3 days. In fact, it was his career slam on that particular day.
Love.
Alvaro is elder brother in the front of the box alongside Samuel Lopez, who took Nicolas Almagro, Pablo Carreño Busta to the world's top 10 in his previous coaching jobs. Djokovic withstanding the pressure.
Well, look at that. Yeah, Wally, in the semi-final, you talked about the trajectory of Novak Djokovic's ball, how it was coming through low, and Sinner was having a little bit of an issue with it. Are you seeing the same trend?
Yeah, but I'm just starting to think Novak is punishing the ball and hitting it so hard and flat that it's not actually allowing his opponents to change the shape necessarily, to come under and hit from low to high. They've just got to deal with the pace they're being fed. Well, he's got it on a string at the moment, though, Novak.
He does. He's got every shot in the book, Wally, doesn't he? And just nonchalantly knocks this off. He had plenty of room, but that takes touch and feel. Of course he's got that. That's the serve that hurt Sinner. Right there.
Djokovic leads.
Picture of perfection
5
from
games to 2
the 10-time
lead.
champion here in Australia for the time being. 5-2. Been the tale of the opening 7 games. Alcaraz chasing what Djokovic has been throwing down the other end of the court to him.
Time.
Es muy complicado, Samu. Es que le resbala mucho la bola, mucho, son muy pocos. Cuando lo mismo, el resto no sé dónde está. Venga, tranquilo que ya se va. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Vamos, Charlie, vamos. Sigue lo tuyo. Venga, usando el cuerpo ahí.
That's becoming a bit of a trend for Alcaraz, and I'm sure Djokovic will pick up on it, but that is the first point of the game that he's gone wide every single time.
Fifteen.
Well, that's awesome. Right now, he's playing like the best guy in the world. Like the old days.
Aquí, para arriba, aquí intenta en contra, para arriba es imposible. Posible.
I mean, he hit 4 pinpoint, ground strokes in that rally on either side of the body, down the line, within feet of either line.
Yeah, it's the depth that's killing Carlos at the moment, isn't it? And as I say, when you've got that kind of depth and that kind of pace, it's hard for Carlos. He's just fending the ball off as opposed to changing the shape.
He has turned the magic on tonight, has Djokovic.
15.
Maybe stay away from this wing when possible. 50-50 ball, chooses forehand. Doesn't see it again.
He has the golden career slam, and everything he's touching tonight is turning to gold. Djokovic a couple of sets away from number 25. Well, right now, if he can continue that particular level, no one is going to be able to stay with that, not even Alcaraz tonight. That was simply sensational. The stats are going to tell you the story of just how dominant that was from Djokovic's perspective. Once again, we did highlight the fact that Novak just took charge of Alcaraz's second serve last year, and he's doing it again tonight.
I've got to say that second last line there, the sprints, I never used to look at it much, but what that means is he's making Alcaraz do the moving. He's making Alcaraz move with the accuracy of his ground strokes, hitting it like within square meters of where he's aiming all the time. Gee, he's been accurate. Pinpoint.
Welcome back. A Djokovic masterclass loading right now on the iconic Rod Laver Arena.
Thank you.
He's done so much in this sport. As I say, the Golden Career Slam, winning in the Olympics in Paris. He held all 4 majors at the same time in 2015 and 16, when he made 6 consecutive finals of majors.
Love 15.
Look, he won't miss that again, obviously. That was an anomaly, but, we saw the chip forehand from Novak in the previous game. Carlos has to dig in a little bit, get some of those first serves back slightly differently. A little chip forehand every now and then. Yes, we've seen the drop shot. Have not seen one backhand slice when he's in a neutral position. Just one scrambling slice on the backhand so far. He needs a bit more variety.
Love 13.
Or a bit of luck like that.
Quite strange though, Wally, out of nowhere he misses 2 forehands. And now he's looking at the restring and the tension.
Interesting too, boys. The roof is open, but it's only half open. It's got about another 50% to go that we would normally expect.
I believe, Wally, that was because if the rain did come, they wanted it to be almost closed, so there wasn't such a big delay in getting the roof shut. But obviously, the consequence of that is there's going to be less breeze within the stadium. It's going to feel a lot stiller for both of these two players.
Yes, absolutely, Petch. And yeah, there are some light showers around, so it's good logic.
Played in the heat of the day the other day, did Alcaraz. There is more bounce in the court in those conditions. The balls get a little bit livelier. The ball gets up a little bit higher. This is sitting right where Novak wants it in his sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Well, he's serving again.
13.
He has an automatic switch. When he needs it, it provides.
Venga, venga. Vale, vamos, venga. Venga, seguimos, seguimos. Vamos.
There's some worry in that camp. That's got to be a strategy. Take Novak out of the court, I would think, especially that backhand. He hasn't done that with yet. He's done it a few times on the forehand wing, which provides a bit more spin.
And Fitzy, I don't know if it's a tactic in this game from Alcaraz, but he definitely seems to be hitting the ball a little bit slower. Almost at the start, there was just adrenaline-fueled hitting, and Novak was loving it.
How good was that point from a strategic point of view? Off-pace opening serve, 163, died as it got to Alcaraz, and then the shape on the forehand on the inside in just so deep that Alcaraz is running away from the court where he cannot be effective. Only lost a couple of points on serve in the opening set. Djokovic, of course, has lost 3 in this opening game, but he may well survive. Beating Alcaraz at his own game.
First game,
not many
set.
can, not many dare.
But Novak's actually doing what I thought Alcaraz would do. That was 152 with the breeze at his back, getting up nice and high, pushing him deep. Then the little drop shot. We saw the chip return at the back end of the first set. We've seen a slice backhand in general play. He's actually the guy with the variety as well as the power.
Times a winner here, 3 at Roland Garros, 7 times at Wimbledon, which was a remarkable stat because he didn't win his first one till he was 24 at his 7th attempt, then the second one by the time he was 27. Now just 1 behind Federer there. 4 at the US Open.
Thank you. If you're coming back in, please do so nice and quickly. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Love.
Spreading the court a little more in this game. We'll see more of that.
30 love.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting parts of this match is just how long Novak can go. Can he go 2 hours at this pace, this velocity, striking the ball with this much venom? Can he go 3? Because the longer you feel that Alcaraz can at least stay with him in this second set. Going to take something out of Novak's legs. It was the perfect opener from Djokovic, of course. He's got it done in just 33 minutes. And these are the kind of points where you actually want to see Alcaraz do exactly as Wally has correctly been saying. Take pace off, kick it out wide, get Novak to hit the return, put it into the space, make him run. You're going to put this game away anyway. Don't actually want to give him a cheap way of getting to the next game.
That was a heartening game. Very heartening game for Alcaraz. He used the court, he spread it, we've talked about it. The spin does that for a player. He possesses all of that. Take his opponent wide.
Carlos just walking back towards pretty much where Rafa's sitting. I think he just needs to have a little glance at Rafa and think, what would Rafa do right now? He's got to think of it. I agree with you, Petch, in terms of attrition. Yes, there's tactics. He tried to go through him in that first set. Didn't work. Can he go around him? Possibly. But he's got to make him work. He's got to extract a little something from him physically in this set. On that last point, 40 love. Big kicker out wide. Heavy forehand cross. Make him work. Ace is effective.
Even on these kind of return games, I'd almost say right at this stage, the way that Novak is quickly bossing the point with his +1 shot after his serve, that Alcaraz comes back and tries to survive +4 and then get into 6 to 8, 9 shot rallies.
And right there, that ball there from Carlos, it's so subtle, but it was probably a foot higher over the net than what he produced in that first set. More revolutions, little higher, just a different trajectory, slightly.
Oh.
Well, that seemed to hit the bottom of the net on that side of the net, Wally. It just turned into a grubber.
Yeah, it's almost like a double net cord. Have a look at it in replay. Hits hard, goes directly up, and then just slides down the face of the net virtually. Impossible.
You'd expect to get a clear bounce if you're Djokovic on that.
Yeah, it only has to land an inch from the net and it bounces up nicely, but it slid, almost slid down the face of the net. Extremely lucky.
Many thanks. Stop.
Well, a bit of fortune and then a malfunction on the forehand side from Djokovic, and the door opens quickly in the second set for Alcaraz.
But I know I said it was an anomaly before when he missed a slice backhand. It's just tennis, isn't it? You've got to throw different shapes at people. Novak was an absolute machine in that first set. He was thriving on the pace and the height of the bounce.
Stop.
Alcaraz manages to drop the anchor and change direction for the first time in this final. A break to the Spaniard, 2-1. Well, the S&V on a second serve was something that Djokovic did against Sinner in that semi-final, and it worked out very nicely for him. Not that time, although the volley was on.
Well, there was a bit of self-implosion there. I mean, he made some mistakes that we haven't seen in the last 48 hours anyway. Maybe 96 hours ago we saw a few of those in the quarterfinal, but not in the semi. And it just got away from him there. He lost a bit of rhythm. Went hard at that second serve on the 15-40 point. Took the risk, came in, which was fine, but then blew the volley. So Carlos back in it now.
Time.
Momentary tip for Djokovic, or something a little longer lasting. Alcaraz capitalizes.
Love 15.
Well, that's just a laser. Problem with his eyes.
Yeah, well, he does wear contacts, and you could see him putting drops in at the change of ends. Alcaraz unhappy that that supposedly caught a piece of the line.
He tends to be quite visual with some of the problems he's got, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just trying to help us out so that we know.
Was that an out ball, Wally?
Yeah, I think the Kia sign at the back of the court was in danger. He knew it. Everyone in the crowd knew it.
Well, it's just a reflex action, wasn't it? It was just subconscious. He knew it was going out, but it was just a reflex.
Yeah, that would have been lucky to stay in the confines of RLA.
That might have got Mike Weber in the first row there. For me, Carlos needs to consolidate here, and he needs to make his move a bit now, because Novak has just gone off a fraction in the last 2 games. You've got to take advantage of that if it happens. Well, that mistake on the reflex volley could be costly.
These errors from Novak just show me that we assume that those forehands in the first set were normal against Sinner was normal. They're not normal. They're absolutely exceptional.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
Things are changing.
Well, the speed of foot and the control on the defence was exceptional. Out of this world, really. I mean, Novak drilled that first backhand down the line. Not many players would have got it back into play, let alone with this one. Let alone with the depth.
Do you think Novak could have come in on the forehand slice and then he felt like he should have been in, and then he came in probably on the wrong ball? Could have maybe taken that forehand slice of Carlos as a topspin volley, and then I think he felt like I should be at the net.
Seats behind the players, please. Thank you. Let's first.
I don't know whether he hit the drop shot because he saw Alcaraz was a long way back, or he's just lost a little bit of rhythm on that shot, and he wants to try and find another way for the time being to get through this service game. He was a long way behind the baseline to play that, but it ended up being the right shot.
Carlos's first thought is to go with touch back, isn't it? I mean, surely he could. That was at the top of the bounce. I would have thought he could drill that backhand. Easy in retrospect. It happens in a split second. You're kidding. Well, Alcaraz hits a very good return that dipped and asked the question, and instantly he compromises Novak.
But Fitzy, guys that have spent their whole life serving and volleying and perfecting the art would have been happy with that, the execution. I mean, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, he does it in his part-time perfectly.
Fortila.
Está bien. Y a la próxima, Vale, vale. Tienes razón.
A bit discontented, Carlitos.
It's dropped in.
Forty 15.
You got to love Novak, though, eh? Look, he missed a volley previously. He made one great volley, but he just does what he thinks is right at the right time. He's not swayed by what might have happened in the past. He just looks ahead, picks his moment. Little unlucky there.
Cain, Djokovic.
He keeps himself close enough to Alcaraz in this second set to potentially turn things around. Spaniard, though, with the advantage, 3-2. Well, we talk about kind of part-time for Novak serving and volleying. I've been fortunate enough to kind of watch virtually all of Novak and Rafa's head-to-head, which was around 60 matches. I think Novak winning 31 of those, as we have another look at this fantastic rally. That's the one where maybe he could have been in. A match that comes back to me was when he played against Rafa in Hamburg on the clay. You know how heavy Hamburg was, 2008. I want to say in that match he came into the net about 30 or 40 times. He knew that he couldn't win that match from the back of the court and came in. It went to 3, he ended up losing to Rafa. But it's certainly not been an overnight process for Novak. I mean, it's almost sort of 18 years of actually trying to get himself up to the net. Different complexion on this second set to the opener. All players are an understudy to perfection whenever they step out onto the rectangle, although the opening set was about as close as perfection can get on a tennis court from Djokovic. It's come back down to earth.
That's the forehand you expect a lot of from Carlos. You know, if he gets a ball in the middle of the court and gets set, not that one, that was a half volley.
One set it up, Fitzy. The slower ball set it up. Novak has to work a little harder, and that's the 1-2 Carlos has to try to create.
Yeah, I think it was just a reaction, wasn't it? That half volley, though. But it's the one that Novak dropped in the middle of the court he can attack. So good at that.
39.
Just gone off the boil a fraction, hasn't he?
The test for the remodeled serve was always going to come in this particular final against the greatest returner of all time. It's holding up pretty well at the moment. almost at 70% of his first serves being landed at the moment, Alcaraz.
Oh. $15 left.
And he has gone off the ball, there's no doubt, Fitzy. 78% of first serves made in the opening set. He's down at 53 at the moment. Is that the fact that his legs are feeling just a little bit heavy at the moment?
Oh.
Well, for me, it's still way too early to doubt him in any facet. Doubt him at your peril.
But that's the return. That was the return that Musetti gave him all sorts of problems with. Standing deep in the court, flipping it up high so he can't make that linear strike. Serve pace definitely dropped off too, boys. That was 143.
Yeah, your eyes aren't deceiving you, Wally. He's down 7 Ks on his first serve speed in this second set at the moment, Djokovic. And suddenly, with the lead, Alcaraz is starting to expand his angle of attack. Second backhand winner of the night, and that was a beauty.
Well, he's always liked the ball coming onto the racket, and that's what Wally's saying. If you give him pace, he will burn you. But also, some of these shots are easy. Out of nowhere, he's just starting to miss some now. It's like a change of momentum.
$30, $40.
For a second time in this second set, Djokovic breaks himself. It's a purposeful walk from the 10-time champion, but his deficit is great now, probably too great. Alcaraz, 5-2. He's a master of these moments, though, Novak, and just maybe at that particular juncture, having got off to a slightly sluggish start in the second set, he's decided that he is going to have to pick periods in this match where he is going to invest the maximum amount of energy that his legs will give him.
Maybe.
And maybe he's just decided that this wasn't the moment to try and overturn this kind of loss that he was facing.
Well, he is the master and commander, isn't he? He strategically, he's brilliant. So maybe that's what he's thinking. Tough to be inside his head. Impossible, probably, but he's certainly dropped off, and he's not his effort level, but the adrenaline has dropped off, hasn't it?
Strategy in a match is never static, as well as the physicality. We saw that on Friday across 2 matches that were out of this world in terms of the fluctuations that all 4 players had. This man is in the ascendancy right now. We'll see if he can serve out this second set.
Love 15. Oh. $15 all.
Well, in his semi-final, I didn't see that, and in the first set here, I didn't see that. That's just a free point. Serves not bad. 150-ish. Not one he would normally miss.
30-15.
Just letting the intensity go, Wally, I would think.
Yeah, it's hard to pick, Fitzy. I mean, you know, in tennis, the mind and the body got to work together. At the moment, the mind's not engaged, and there's no real physicality about his effort. It's maybe, as Petch suggested, he's just letting this one slide.
$40-15.
Couple of set points for the world number 1.
Game, second set.
History still on the line for both. No daylight between them after over an hour.
Please.
Time to regroup, as Novak will take his leave of the court. We'll have the full amount of time. Definitely a sense, I felt at 4-2, that he had decided that he's only got so much energy today, and he's going to have to put it in to action at certain times. That wasn't the time to do it, and he's allowed Alcaraz to take that second set comfortably. And they have been 2 very, very lopsided sets in terms of statistics, but also visually in terms of how they've come out. But the opening set will still be encouraging for Novak, because if he can try and refine that form, it was certainly more than good enough to take care of the world number 1 tonight.
Well, on the other side of that AO Mark Edmondson coin, he's a dangerous man, isn't he? To let him gain some momentum. If Alcaraz gets out of that little, well, it wasn't a slump, he was just outplayed in the first set, really, but he was a bit sluggish possibly, and using the wrong speed, as Wally mentioned. But if you give him time to settle down and he starts hitting shots like that, he can come to regret it. It's a gamble.
Yeah, but I cannot go there and touch them, so I touch you. So that's why. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be like that, but why it's closer than before? That's what I'm telling you. Like the rope is a little bit closer than before, and I didn't know that. So I just look there, and I was like, why is closer? So, and it's not fair that the player doesn't know that. You know what I mean?
Well, these are the intangibles that happen in massive matches that are kind of a few unknowns. He is now saying that that roof has got considerably closer together, and he wants to know why.
I would say there's rain on the outskirts, but this roof was never fully opened. It was only partially opened, and don't know whether he noticed that at the start, but now it's 10-15 metres apart.
Just to your right, Wally, is Craig Tiley there, kind of Andrews Egley.
Wayne McEwen was just being signalled to by Carlos from the chair.
Yeah.
He said that he would go down to his end of the court and chat to him. So there he is.
Be nice to hear this.
So I think a satisfactory answer.
Well, the reality is Samuel Lopez is going to have to get it through to him. He's not going to get it changed. That's the decision that's made. Whether he likes it or not is another matter. That was Craig Tiley.
Yeah, and I bet Wally is right. I mean, there'd be impending rain in the area. There was earlier in the day. It looks like it might continue impending.
Well, if anyone was in any doubt about who and how the players felt about the roof being open or shut, we're pretty clear that Carlos would have wanted it open, and obviously Novak quite keen to have it shut. Because there was the big drama of Wimbledon many years ago between Rafa and Novak when they had played up until the cut-off, and next day came back on a beautiful sunny day and they ended up deciding that they were going to play with the roof shut, which obviously favoured Novak and not Rafa over that particular period. And as I say, these are the intangibles that can ultimately decide which way these massive matches go. And this is a big one. This is a big one in terms of obviously the personal history for Novak. Also, potentially, you never know, down the road, number of majors won. It's fascinating to know that Novak won his 6th major in his 33rd major appearance. Carlos won his 6th major in his 20th. That's how far ahead of Novak he is at this stage of his career.
Well, being ahead early in the career is one thing, but longevity and being ahead at the end is a totally different one. That longevity decides. But Wally, that looks like it's 3/4 shut.
It is, Fitzy, yeah. It's a very slight opening compared to the massive distance of this Rod Laver Arena.
Because I was going to ask you, Wally, like his shirt looked like it was blowing a lot more in that last game than I'd seen it.
Seats, please. Thank you.
Well, the wind is blowing downwind for Carlos at the moment in terms of the scoreboard as we reset and begin the third.
The question for me right now is, can he snap his fingers and turn on the same form that he had in the first set? After having a downer in the second, can he turn it on again straight away?
I'm happy with for the Alcaraz camp. Did you notice the trajectory of those first 4 or 5 shots?
Yeah.
And then he flattens one out.
Coaching guru, masseur.
Love 30.
I just think that makes it a lot harder for Novak to play that incredible strike tennis that he played in the first set. But boys, I'm sitting next to Barbara Shett, and we're just trying to surmise what is it with Novak. Is it physical? We think so. We think so. Can't put a finger on what, but just the energy levels just don't seem to be there. Those little steps to get in position.
Djokovic. coming up with something so special. I mean, that was such a difficult volley to be able to keep away from Alcaraz.
Great feel on the lob too to get it high enough.
I was just about to call Alcaraz the alchemist there. He was turning something into nothing. Sorry, nothing into something.
Logic says to me, Alcaraz has to look for that on a second serve on a big point. He's prepared to take the risk, Novak. He hit it on a dime in the semi-final. You've got to watch for that second serve in the middle on the second court.
Boys, I'm feeling a few drops, unless it's a seagull. I'm feeling some very heavy drops.
40-30.
Well, the tournament have been absolutely wise in their decision to allow the roof to kind of get to that particular stage.
They need to close it.
Well, if he can somehow stumble through this particular game and put it on the board, Djokovic, and then the roof shuts, that may just change the complexion entirely of this match. One of the best players ever with a roof over his head, Djokovic.
Did notice Novak earlier in the match with some taping on his back. I don't know whether that's still in place after the equipment change, whether that's got anything to do with his second set performance.
He's not 100% happy though, is he?
Yeah, I think he wants something from his team. That's all. I think he is letting them know that he's not feeling at 100% right now, and understandably so. His 38th major final. He's 38 years of age, and it was a brutally physical match against Sinner in that semi-finals. And you can see he's a little bit doubled over there. Here's the delivery. Boris Bosniakovic, his coach, that is in the front row there. His physio at the back that's been looking after Novak for so many years. And they would have had a busy 36 hours trying to get Novak ready for this encounter.
Oh. One of the best shots we've seen tonight.
There is the alchemist.
Yeah. had to hit that with less forward speed to create the
15
angle.
love.
And that's why he changed his backhand. In fact, Alcaraz, when he was very young, had such a poor backhand. There was even discussions within the Alcaraz family and coach to change it to a one-hander. Good decision not to.
Very, very good decision.
But he has remodeled it in the last couple of seasons, dropping it straight back into kind of the left hip height so that he can counter the pace that's coming into him without having going high and down. And you could see how well it worked there was Djokovic attacked on the opening point.
Well, Wally said he was sitting next to Barbara Shed out there, and they both know their tennis. So they're wondering about the physicality of Djokovic. He didn't look like moving for that forehand across court. Well, he did there out wide to the backhand.
40 love.
But let's keep an eye on that.
Let's Cain, Alcaraz. One game more.
I don't think in the semi-final we saw anything quite like this. I mean, it's not overly dramatic yet, but he's mishitting many more balls, Novak, than he was in the semis. He doesn't look like he's getting it out of the middle the same. That can be movement. It can be the recovery process that he's been through.
Carlos going back, he wants to extend the rallies, but that one just a little too short, a little too slow. Easy pickings for Djokovic. He's got to find that kind of golden middle.
It's too far back too, wasn't he? There's the one he had in the first set, and all through that semi-final.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here, Carlos, that he doesn't play Djokovic back into this third set and allow him to kind of easily hold on to his serve and get to 3-4 all, because then if it's just a short sprint to the end of the set, you're going to see Djokovic lift. A couple of very passive points. And in stark contrast to what's happening down the other end of the court. Crowd feels it. And Djokovic feeling it once again. For how long?
Oh. Game, Djokovic.
One of the best service games that he has played in the last 40 minutes, Djokovic. And it really does feel meaningful. 2-1. This has been home for the last 15 days. Of course, it was an exceptional week 0 for Melbourne in terms of the fans that came through, but another record-breaking tournament for Tennis Australia. And another phenomenal 15 days. And even at this late stage, still unsure who's going to take this men's singles championship.
Time.
It's a lighter step.
Find your places, please.
It's a little jog out from Djokovic. We can see him from the bunker that we're at, just under that Kia sign. And early on in this returning game, he's going to try and make something happen. Round the net. Come on! Unbelievable.
Wait till you all see this in slow motion.
How has Novak got this? And then once he detonates this round the post, you think he's got it.
15-9.
You reckon he didn't want that first point in that return game?
Please.
Done right, he did.
There's an energy, effervescence about his tennis in the opening couple of points.
Yeah, it's back, that energy from the first set.
Well, I guess we have to assume, Petch, what you said. He was just conserving a little energy after he'd lost that break in that second set. But have you ever seen 4 more audacious consecutive shots than that first point? I mean, the lob, the roll, the round the net, and the pickup. Incredible.
Audacious.
Stop. Thirty, 15.
Shuffled some coals on the bonfire. The intensity's back. Little hibernation from Djokovic in the second set.
Derecha no sé qué hacer. Hay que levantarla ahí, chaval. Hay que cambiar la velocidad, que le venga más despacio. Venga.
Please, players are ready. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
That 15:30 rally, let's call that the Hagler-Hearns rally. And Novak, he comes out on top. And somehow he turned that around with that wicked cross-court forehand. But that's the danger he's in. He cannot just stand toe-to-toe with Novak.
Cain, Alcaraz.
Big investment from Djokovic in that return game. Alcaraz kept him at bay.
2 games all.
Let's have another look at that incredible point. Arguably the point of the tournament in so many ways. That dig was unreal. And this shot surely wins the point. Apparently not.
Impressed, Rafa?
If it impresses him, a man that's done everything, you know it's been exceptional.
Lot 15.
Is that just on the tail of what he's tried to invest in the previous game? And you can see what is happening here to Djokovic at the moment. We talked about his pace being down on his serve, therefore he's having to work that much harder behind the serve. 36% unreturned, now just down at 14%. And there's a great example of it. There's the problem for him. His tournament average at 38%, and now he is working seemingly every single point, 1 or 2 shots more, and it is just wearing him out.
Well, the +1 shot there, the forehand after the serve, just wasn't good enough, was it? He committed to moving forward, didn't hit it with enough width, enough speed. Found himself at the net and in trouble.
Please. $15-13. Let's for some. 15-14.
I think when you pull the trigger on a winner so often, there's occasions you're going to go a little bit earlier in retrospect. Maybe not quite the right one there. Was he balanced enough?
Balance of power about to tip towards Alcaraz if he can take one of the next 2 points. He was late getting that white to the forehand. He hopes the initial forehand was good enough to win the point. It wasn't against Alcaraz.
3 games to 2.
And the Spaniard up a break in the third. Small, seemingly insignificant details, but hugely important when you take on the best player in the world, as many have found against Novak when he's been in the same situation. That he was just a little bit later out of the forehand, and Alcaraz exploited the space, and he just couldn't catch up. A little passive at the start of this third set from Alcaraz, down about 6 Ks on his forehand, allowing Novak to kind of dictate some of the moments. But as he moves in front, you would expect him to relax once again and start dictating proceedings.
Love.
What's he going to do? Well, he knew it was going to be showtime, and some hoping it was going to be prime time, but it wasn't in the end. Well, we see a few more of these from Djokovic just to try and disentangle himself from the current strategy and just break up the rhythm of these points.
$30-15.
I just wonder if he's going after that winner earlier in the rally than he did in the semis. Just a fraction. Is he picking the wrong ball, the one that's not quite there to be hit?
I agree with Petch, though. I think if Novak can get a break back here and get to the business end of the set on level terms, he's such a fox. Look out. You know, this is so important for Carlos, just to keep the hammer down.
Perfect play.
40-30.
And that was 10 Ks quicker than his average. That was a bomb of a serve out wide. compared to what he's been delivering tonight.
Cain, Alcaraz.
That was world class. There was a little bit of pressure on Alcaraz there. The double fault came to allow Djokovic back to 30-all. Djokovic can't afford to slip further out of the slipstream of Alcaraz.
Love.
What can you say?
Another rally where all the superlatives apply and all are exhausted. Two of the most creative, skillful, mobile tennis players that have ever held a tennis racket. And we are the beneficiaries of their greatness. World-class entertainment on a history-making night.
Djokovic.
Must-win game. And that's exactly what he does.
Alcaraz
Emphatic hold of serve. Alcaraz, 4-3 in the third.
Time.
Lopez doing a lovely job of just calming Alcaraz after the opening set where he was outplayed. Making sure that he's not outthought.
Oh.
I was just about to say, this is the end. Last time Novak was at this end, he made a big investment to try to affect the break. This is the end where if you get neutral in the point, you've got a little bit of breeze at your back and you can get in the ascendancy. Clever little slice there. Novak probably didn't give it the respect it deserved, but Novak spot served his way out of the game when he served at this southern end. Alcaraz will need to do the same, I feel.
Conceived in Murcia, made in Melbourne, that drop shot.
30-love.
And if there is more and more lactic acid in the legs of Djokovic, that shot is going to take him over the edge. Oh.
Must have caught the outside edge.
Reminiscent of the opening set.
50.
Yeah. The only remaining member of the Pride of the Big Four. He is not going to go down without a fight here, Djokovic. How complete a player is Alcaraz already for 22?
Yep,
How
nice.
good was that volley?
Yep.
That volley was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it was coming at him with such pace and flat, so hard to control. More so on the forehand side than the backhand, but he did it. That was an incredible shot.
Pat Rafter, Lou Ho, Ken Rosewell, they would have been happy with that.
Yep.
Rocket.
That was top shelf.
Pecci. Teaser.
Just frame. Very little string.
40-30.
But it makes that last volley all that more important, doesn't it? I mean, this is a tough end that he's serving at. Alcaraz, every point is valuable.
Well, the good news, I think, here for Carlos is that Novak has thrown everything he's got at him in this set. He did snap the fingers and turn it back on again, didn't he, after that lull in the second? But Carlos has stood up to it. And may well take this third.
Love 15.
Boris, who worked at Novak's tennis academy back in Belgrade when he had it, Also worked alongside Marian Vida back in 2010, 2011, the seasons that Djokovic had then. These are not Alcaraz's signature moves in general. He is willing to absorb whatever Djokovic throws at him and just keep throwing it back. He's happy to allow Djokovic to kind of run out of energy here.
You just assume that the outcome of this game is going to be telling. The momentum from Alcaraz is just starting to get on top.
Don't smile just yet. We saw Novak get out of a few love 40s in that 5th set against Jannik Sinner.
Just an incredible point engineered from Djokovic, but just a moment to reflect on the movement from Alcaraz.
15-14.
I mean, Djokovic has hit 4 point-ending shots, and they're still not good enough.
This is live tennis. Wally didn't know this was coming.
There is something quite bizarre that comes over Novak when he faces break point. I can't quite explain it. It's never over.
Would it be a cloud of greatness by any chance?
And a bit like that.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
A drop shot disguised as a dagger. A 4th set point.
He goes to the well a lot there. How accurate is he with that?
A little conservative from Alcaraz. The door's been opened a couple of times in this set because Novak maybe just doesn't have the energy. But if you're going to drop it that short, he's not going to need a second invitation to take on the forehand.
It's almost like Novak, when he gets in these situations, it's like I'm playing with the casino's chips. I've done everything there is. I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to roll the dice.
One thing about that serve, he's just missed the serve down the tee, but Wally and Fitzy, we've talked about it an awful lot over the last sort of 2 days against Yannick. It was deadly accurate. If you stuck a ball can where most people do trying to hit it, you'd think that he's missed that serve a lot because it's so short on that tee serve. It's not deep in the box in general.
Advantage, Djokovic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you call out during the point, you will be sent out, and that will ruin your night. Please don't do it.
A simple but effective statement.
Go Johnny Blom.
Yeah, no one's going to second guess what that meant.
Neither of the players there appreciated it, that's for sure.
It's been a rarity in this third set that Alcaraz has taken the backhand down the line, and that's maybe why Novak was late getting there. Look at that. He usually is a pretty even split, 53% cross, 47. We said he was just absorbing the pace. He was going to allow Novak to kind of run down the energy banks, and that's exactly what he's done. Virtually every backhand has gone cross-court.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
And a quick winner against Alcaraz from that position is an expensive illusion for Novak, and it is another set point. Running out of rubber, Novak Djokovic, if he's going to get to number 25. Alcaraz a set away from the career Grand Slam.
I think Novak may have just called for the physio potentially, or the referee.
Well, you wouldn't be surprised, would you? I mean, we are asking an awful lot of this incredible champion to come back from a Friday night epic against Sinner. First serve points won, 52%. We know the pace was off. I wouldn't be surprised if at times the accuracy dropped a little bit, but it may be a combination of both that has allowed Alcaraz to kind of chip it out. And it's also the fact, as we saw in the last couple of points, Novak feels as though he's got to detonate the +1 shot. That's not a point-building shot, it's a point-ending shot.
Well, Novak just sort of suggesting that that sort of reflux regurgitation we saw in the previous matches bothering him again. There is the tournament doctor looking for something to assist him with that.
Djokovic will be the oldest man to try and win a major in the Open era at his age, and it's getting progressively harder, not just on the scoreboard, just physically for the 38-year-old. More help more assistance from a medicine point of view, but he's not getting any from Alcaraz.
Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats, please. Ready for play.
Well, in Novak's 10 finals here,
Alcaraz to serve.
he's only once trailed by 2-1. That was against Dominic Thiem in 2020. So not good numbers for him. If he trails, well, he hasn't had to trail. He's always won them, but he hasn't had to trail. So he's capable of doing it. We know he looked in this sort of physical distress 2 days ago, 48 hours ago. Can he do it one last time?
Please.
This is, of course, the second largest gap in a men's singles final in the Open era. Jimmy Connors against Ken Rosewall a couple of times, 17 years and 304 days between those two. Happened a couple of times back in 1974 at Wimbledon in the US.
13 love.
Connors getting the better of Rosewall on both occasions. It's the third time it's happened between these two. Alcaraz getting the better of Djokovic at Wimbledon in 23 and 24. As much as Alcaraz may have been surprised by the quality that Djokovic hit him with in the opening set, he wouldn't have panicked. He's a couple of times come back from losing the opening set in a final of a major. Wimbledon 23 against Djokovic, and of course in that quite remarkable French Open final in 25 against Sinner.
A little bit of Novak's own medicine there. Wonderful. Almost an off-pacer down the middle there, just curling beautifully on the line, getting further away from Novak's swing pattern.
Game. Alcaraz. First game.
Looks a little bit ominous for Novak, doesn't it? But don't go early, Wally says. Do not go early.
Wally, what are his options here, really? What are his options to... Yeah, I think Wally might have just disappeared for a second. Fitzy, what are Novak's options here? I mean, well, what does he do to impact Alcaraz to any degree?
Well, I think physically it feels like he's just gone off a bit. It feels like he's pulling the trigger on some of these big shots that were working for him all night against Sinner. Maybe a fraction early. It's just a little too good from the back of the court. Nothing wrong with Novak's effort there. He played a good point, but Carlos is getting what Wally's been looking for him to do all match, with more spin. Starting to make Novak run a little more, cover more ground. And the body language just, look, don't let it fool you. He's got some left in the tank for sure, but it just looks a little bit negative.
At times tonight for the 38-year-old feel as though he's playing a younger version of himself, because this is what he did to others.
How good was that retrieving? I mean, that's can be a game winner. The great players don't just attack, they retrieve immeasurably. That was awesome.
You can't be great without having great defense.
So what can he do? Not really sure looking at this game, but he's got to find that same, I think, length and direction that he found against Sinner in the semis somehow.
It's so subtle, isn't it? Just trying to pull the trigger when the ball's up above your shoulder as opposed to when it's right sort of between waist and chest. Such a distinct move that Carlos has made as this match has gone on to flip the returns high. Pays dividends.
Had a couple of fleeting glimpses into just how well Novak played in the opening set in this game. The forehand that he torched earlier, that backhand. But one of the big differences, he was able to shorten the points so effectively in the opening set. He had 5 points where he just finished it after his serve with his +1 with his forehand. He has had just 3 in sets 2, 3, and 4. He is getting extended in every single service game, and it has taken his legs away. But it hasn't taken his heart.
I must say, I am staggered how often he's gotten away with his tee serve in the 5 sets against Sinner. And once again, that tee serve must be incredibly hard to pick and chase down.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
That innate feeling you get sometimes, it feels like he has to hold here.
Stunning effort. Not his favourite shot, and for all of his loyal fans, there's a little bit of a heart in the mouth moment.
I was surprised he took that out of the air. He can do things most others can't. But that was an awkward first smash, as Rafa would tell you. Magnificent. Well, that's the normal Carlitos, isn't it? Just ripping that first ball, as Wally's been talking about, high and deep, and then it sets up the point for him. Follows it with that and uses the artistry.
And Fitzy, that was high, deep and hard. He just gave that a little extra pepper. Novak was on the back foot from the get-go.
7 of 10 drop shots won by Alcaraz.
Juice.
Djokovic, it seems, has exactly where he wants you at break point. What a response. And then he just toggles it out wide, and then you kind of give him that one down the tee, because you do have to cover it.
Advantage Djokovic.
I tell you, this will be a monumental hold if he can hold this.
Juice.
And there it is. When he has the ad, it's not quite as straightforward, but Novak again tonight, 4 from 13. He's Alcaraz. His strike rate, his ability to save break points is unparalleled.
People talk about, at times, his kind of inconsistency in matches, but
Advantage
when you look at how
Alcaraz.
many matches he's won over the course of his career so early on, first to win the most in the first 100 matches of his career than anyone's ever been able to do. Look at the discipline tonight. There were so many opportunities in that rally from Alcaraz's perspective where he could have gone for the clean winner, and he chose to extend it.
Juice.
He made 13 out of 18 first serves against Sinner to keep the Italian at bay. He hasn't been able to keep Alcaraz at bay consistently, but he has made 12 out of 14 first serves on the break point down.
So here's another one. And you know that feeling, guys, when you're facing just the tidal wave of break points, in the end, you almost just, you lose it because you can't take it anymore. The pressure just builds. But Novak, he just seems to thrive on these situations. It's extraordinary.
Talk about meeting the moment.
Juice.
So, as you said, Petch, against Sinner, the first serve was working. He wins the break points. It was that previous break point when Carlos had a forehand in the center of the court. He got a little wild. That's one of the few that Carlos has given him.
Advantage Djokovic. Right, please. Thank you.
Brilliant. Absolutely extraordinary.
One game all.
Well, I'm sure that semi-standing ovation there from large parts
Thank
of the
you.
crowd,
Move along
I'm
quickly,
sure that
please.
warmed the cockles
Players
of his
are ready.
heart.
One game all.
He's going to need that. He's going to need the momentum from the parts of this crowd that are
Seats,
so
please.
invested
Thank
in
you.
him, you'd think, to give him a chance.
Remember that game. I mean, 6-3. If he breaks 6-3, he's up 2 love Alcaraz in the fourth.
Once again, take your seats.
Things
Both
change
players are ready.
dramatically.
Thank you.
Precious few seconds extra for Djokovic here just to get himself ready. He looked winded after that momentous game.
Love 15.
But that hole would have pumped his tyres up a bit.
No. Fifteen all.
You see the moments, don't you, when he puts in the bigger physical effort. This is one of them here.
The compound effect tonight, though, isn't it, for Novak? I mean, it was an 18-point service game. Only
50.
one serve wasn't returned, and again, it's just taken his legs and his lungs, and then he doesn't have that much left to invest in the next returning game.
It's cumulative, even for a 22-year-old.
Let alone for a 38-year-old.
40-15. Game.
Wandered in, trying to keep the point short. He's flexing out his right hip flexor at the moment, Djokovic. But he safely sits down in this 4-set on serve, at least for the time being. Let's just take a little look at the shift from Alcaraz on his second serve return. At the start of the match, he wanted to start up. He wanted to try and cut off that second serve that Novak was going to come in with. He knew it was going to be relatively quick. And as he saw that the Djokovic starting to tire a little bit, he shifted in sets 2, 3, and 4 to further back. It's been still a high percentage of points won from Novak, but as we were just saying, the cumulative effect, the compound effect, that he's been able to make all the returns and kind of extend rallies past the 4-5 shot rally. Even if he hasn't won them, they've had an effect down the road for Alcaraz that has been on the positive side.
Settle down, please.
Don Bunch, the current youngest to ever complete the career Grand Slam at 22 years old and 363 days. Alcaraz just 4 games away from potentially eclipsing that.
Conversely, guys, Carlos has worked hard. I mean, he's, you know, as you say, Petch, he's made returns and he's made Novak work for all of those service games, and that can take a toll too. So we'll just see how he travels throughout the course of this 4th set, whether he's still got that same spring.
Third shot.
Historically, he hasn't had any ill effects after a 5-setter. Alcaraz, the 8 matches he's played after his most recent ones, he's gone on to win. So it's always been a bump up for the Spaniard. Of course, 15-1 if it does go to a deciding set.
Which is pretty impressive, isn't it, given that your endurance improves with age, normally in your late 20s, early 30s. Got the speed and the endurance at a young age.
A little look of disbelief from Alcaraz that that lob has dropped in. 1 millimeter in.
Cain, Djokovic. Two games all.
Got a toe hold in the previous Alcaraz service game. Couldn't win the second point, but it was a long, extended affair. And it does feel as though Djokovic has got a couple of really good points in him on the return. But if they don't both go his way, he's looking to kind of check out of the game and save what he has left.
Well, the first one certainly helps, doesn't it, if he can get up that love 15. But, yeah, when he draws level and he's still on serve. You see that there's a little bit more energy at the beginning of these return games. That deflates him slightly.
Sheila.
Isn't finding his first serve in this 4 set, but he's still coasting on serve for the time being.
49. Cain, Alcaraz.
I don't know if he heard me from the bunker there, but I think he took that personally that I said he wasn't making enough first serves. Third ace of the set and a third game for Alcaraz, 3-2.
Petch, I'd check the soundproofing in your studio.
Looks comfortable, doesn't he, Fitzy? He looks calm.
Well, I think
he doesn't look overawed by what he potentially is going to achieve this evening.
And he's winning his service games relatively comfortably. So that gives him some breathing space. He's serving first, he's up the game. And he's waiting for this big opportunity, which you would expect would come at some stage.
Time.
Such a good performance from Alcaraz. Everyone talks about the charisma that he brings to the court, the occasional inconsistencies within match, but tonight it's all been about discipline. He knows he's able to hit the ball harder, he's able to take higher risks on, but he knows he doesn't need to risk that much. The scenarios that he keeps affecting gives him the best chance to win tonight.
15 love.
Djokovic has found a sweet groove on his first serve. He's above 80% first serves in for this set for the time being.
He said that in his last 8 sets.
Sheila.
These are the types of games, though, that can get him mentally back into this set.
Yeah, Fitzio, roll through this game, and I'm telling you, this end, little breeze at his back, a couple of quality returns. What a time to pounce in this match, having absorbed all that pressure early in the set for Novak.
Forty, 15. Djokovic.
And what will be interesting is if this doesn't work out for Alcaraz this fourth set, whether he can find the extra gear that he clearly has. There's no question he can hit the ball harder, he can take it on, but when you've been playing at this kind of subdued, disciplined level, it's not always easy to flick the switch.
Well, there's a constant group of questions being asked from both competitors.
Seats, please, right behind the server. Thank you.
Oh, what a reaction. A half volley, falling backwards.
Scrub what I just said. Clearly, it's a lot easier to flick the switch than I thought.
Falling back, half volley, cold winner. And there's the appreciation, or the acknowledgement at least.
Third Sheila.
You think one of these service games from either player is going to get close soon? There'll be some drama shortly.
From his childhood, he's always wanted to be the most charismatic out there in terms of the shot making. He was quite happy at 8 years old to come in and get lobbed. He played many a match where people talk about the fact that he was happy to come and volley high shots from his opponents inside the baseline. But nobody can counter that.
He's got this ability, hasn't he, Novak? He's not going to invest in this rally. He's down 40 love, so I'll just pull the trigger. But more often than not, he gets a result.
Novak knew it was coming. There was a good chase. But once again, the drop shot with such deft touch from Alcaraz gets him across the line for a fourth hold in this fourth set. Best drop shot you've ever seen, do you think, on the forehand side? Would it be fair to say? I mean, I know it's the most frequent.
It's out of him and Jairo Velasco.
Everybody that is listening to this broadcast has just got their phone out and has started Googling furiously, saying, how do you spell that?
Well, it's showing his age. Showing his age.
Hey, Siri, how do you even say this?
Explain yourself, Wally.
You don't remember Jairo?
I do. I do.
He was Mr. Drop Shot. That's all he had. He actually didn't have any pace.
Sounds like some of us.
Now Carlos, he's quickly out of the chair. I don't know whether I'm imagining things, but I felt he's looked a little, not heavy, just a bit fatigued at times. He needs a burst of energy right here.
Dangerous moments for Djokovic. Doesn't have really any runway to recover things if he's not perfect here. Can Alcaraz make his move?
Well, he hasn't had a love 15 for a while. Carlos, a donation there from Novak. It only takes one or two small errors at the wrong time. and then that. It can happen like lightning.
Love 30.
Well, we know he's got nerves of steel.
15,
of course
13.
he does, but he is going to need them here. Well,
30 all.
I was thinking middle for sure there.
Sarah Snook from Succession. I guess this is a little bit of an episode from that at the moment. Alcaraz succeeding Djokovic potentially here in Australia. She's from your part of the world, Adelaide.
Gotta love those South Australians. I could see it happening quick and opposite to this. But Djokovic has turned this on a dime. With 3 excellent points here. The serving again, playing a big part.
Cheers. Advantage, Djokovic. Cain, Djokovic. Games all.
That almost looked a bit insignificant, that hole, but it was not.
Well, they were virtual break points, weren't they? Every point there at love 30. And once again, he just as cool as you could possibly be under pressure. Just finds the spot with quality first serves. It's extraordinary.
Thank you.
Changed his mind there, Carlos. And here we go, bringing the crowd in, lifting the tempo. Djokovic is a master out.
Love 15.
This shot, for me, was a change of mind. He missed it by so much. I reckon the thought of a drop shot entered his head.
Thank you. Ready for play. Thank you. Thank you.
Heart rates have gone up.
Silence, please. $15 all.
It looked like he was trying to stand in there, Wally. I thought he
Yeah, but there was some good kick on that second serve, Fitzy. Cool night air. It's not easy to do, but that once again got up above his shoulder height. That's just gets that little bit harder to generate from there.
You know, the one thing that I probably love more than anything else, apart from that play from Alcaraz, is his demeanour on the court. After the last point where Djokovic missed the backhand return, there was a little look up. I think Rafa is right above where he's standing right now. I can't see, Wally can. And they obviously got a bit of eye contact. And he just smiled, like the biggest smile, almost as though I just couldn't think of anything else I'd rather be doing right now. He had the same look against de Minaur at 5-all in the opening set against the Australian. Had the entire stadium against him. Djokovic right now, unquestionably, has the love of the crowd. Fever pitch. Defiance from Djokovic. And the set on a knife edge right now.
We spoke about this before, that Djokovic hold at love 40.
Very good. Thank you.
We knew if he could be level at the business end of the set, something would happen.
It's been a while. Has not had a break point since 2-1 in the second set.
Settle down, please. Please.
There, wasn't it, for the taking? That really was. He was set for that forehand, Novak.
Deuce.
And a wry smile again from Carlos. He knows he dodged a bullet there.
He's put an apology out there with his hand. But I can guarantee you at this stage of this final, he's not sorry at the outcome.
Shorter and wider than he intended. But he did intend to go there.
Thank you. Please, thank you. Alcaraz. New balls, please. Alcaraz leads 5 games to 4.
This final has lived up to its billing. Alcaraz 5-4 in the fourth. exhale, everybody, including the two players. These are the sounds of the game that you want. There's a little certainty about Carlos after that last game as he walked over to his corner.
Thank you. Players are ready.
That was a scare.
Right, please.
Can he get the success he craves? That'll be encouraging for a lot of the Djokovic watchers right now that he's decided not just to change the racket. Obviously with the new balls he wants the right string tension, more importantly the jog over to the racket back. There's life in those legs.
I thought the defensive lob was a thing of the past. Musetti had it down pat this tournament. We've seen two beauties from both these men. It's a good outcome there for Alcaraz.
So you need good timing there. I mean, we take that for granted. Ball kicking up sharply, he got on top of it, took both legs off the ground. Amazing timing.
Djokovic's serving continues to be as accurate as an atomic clock. Reliable under pressure.
Cain, Djokovic.
Well, the controls there, Mark, isn't it? He changed direction with that forehand. He just guided that beautifully with a racket face. Wow.
The feeling as I sit courtside right now is that Djokovic is actually playing the better tennis. He's serving better. and he seems to have a little more purpose in what he's doing. Carlos, for me, has yet to really hit his straps. Maybe he's played that conservative arm wrestle style of tennis. Maybe he needs a little more. He needs to break out at the back end here of the fourth.
Silence. Thank you.
Well, there's not much room left before a tiebreaker.
Oh.
Goodness me, Carlos has countered brilliantly at times on that +1 shot. Not just absorbing the pace of ball and the depth, but just countering it with the way that he has redistributed it down the line or cross court.
It's almost like a table tennis shot, isn't it?
Third Sheila. Third She 15. Fourth She 15. Cain, Alcaraz.
The world's best produces one of his best service games of the match at the most opportune moment. 6-5 in the fourth. Djokovic in the distance there, you can see trying to get his thumb into his right hip flexor, just trying to loosen it up a little bit. But look at the footwork from Alcaraz, still sharp, and it gave him a little extra time to have a good panoramic view of the court to see where Djokovic was going, and that one had an awful lot of insurance built into the forehand. From the tennis courts to the Real Sociedad Club de Campo in Murcia for Alcaraz, to the Rod Laver iconic centre court here in Melbourne. The Spanish supernova, one game away again from the career Grand Slam.
Ball.
that was.
How many more steps has Djokovic got left in him? Because that felt like a huge one for Alcaraz in his quest for greatness.
And will this come to attrition right now?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, do not call out during the point. I know you get excited. Please don't call out during the point. Thank you. Please, ready for play.
Stunning.
Yeah. What presence of mind, Mark.
15 all.
Under that moment, under these circumstances, second serve.
How good was the second serve? Right in the corner.
Just awesome.
Does Alcaraz stay deep, or does he cut off the opportunity for Djokovic to serve and volley again? He's kind of wandering around a little bit. Seems like he's just shuffled in.
Thank you. Quiet, please. Thank you.
A new chapter of tennis history is about to be written. Championship points. Alcaraz conquers Australia.
2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5.
And in doing so, makes history down under as the youngest career Grand Slam winner of all time. He is congratulated by the greatest of all time. Watched on by the greatest clay corner of all time.